Everything is difficult. Help me help you. Girl, what you trying to do? Cause I don't got a clue.
Hello babes and welcome to my how-to video. Before we jump into it, I am on my Discord. I can leave a link in the description below if you guys want to join. We have a few people on here. Some of them are going to be removed because they're AFK. My Dinobot isn't working, but if you do join, just make sure you read these rules. It looks like a lot, but you can honestly just skim over it and understand the basic concept. And also keep in mind with my announcements, if you're inactive for more than 2 weeks, you will be removed, but you can be invited back. But yeah, if you're looking for people to play with, I mean, there's a lot of people on here that pretty much everyone on here plays it. So you could just message people and ask them, you know, like, hey, what's up? You want to play? Like, let's go. Anyways, so we're just gonna ignore this message. This guy is probably a story for another time. Okay. Anyways, so this is my how-to video for Daji. She is pretty easy to play, but it takes some bit to get used to. By the way, my shits are oh my god. I struggle so hard to talk when I'm recording. I always say everything backwards or something. Anyways, my stats are shit with her because I have her very boosted. I realized I wanted to diamond her when I think I had her at rank 3, and you know, with the daily win, the chest that you get from winning and stuff. Well, I had a bunch of worshiper boosters, so I was like, oh, I'm gonna get her diamond, let's use all of these. And then once I got her almost rank 10, I was like, holy shit, my stats are crap, this sucks. So pretty much every time I play her, I hide my stats because I mean my stats are shit, so then everyone also focuses me too, which isn't fun. And I mean, I still do alright, but I don't do as well because she can't take a lot of pressure like that.
Why isn't this a passion pit of sorts?
Hold on, checking my messages. That's the other thing, as you can tell, when I'm recording, I don't have people jump in, call, and talk to me because it's really annoying. So if people need to talk to me, I just have them message me, and I have to pretty much check that stuff right away because usually if they're messaging me while I'm recording, it's about something important. So anyways, I haven't played her necessarily in Conquest. I think I tried her as a jungle once, and I did terrible. But basically, I maxed all of her, I mainly max all of her abilities equally, but depending on the match, I'll max one ability more. So, my typical maxing, right now for level 5, I'd put a point and everything, and then I'd probably put a point in my 3. But let's say this was Joust and I needed that wave clear, I'd probably put a point in my 2 instead. So let's do this here. So I'll go over my starter build with her. I go Bluestone, and then I go where is it? I usually buy the first tier boots as well. Sometimes I'll buy Ragna's if it's Clash because I mean Ragna's helps a lot. If you don't know, the passive is each time you get an assist you gain a stack and 2 for a kill. It provides 1% movement speed and 1% cooldown reduction at 10 stacks. Random Mask evolves and gaining 15 penetration. And if you can get this item fully stacked in the early game, it hurts so much. So anyways, we're not gonna build that because, I mean, I don't necessarily need to show you how that works. I'm pretty sure it's self-explanatory. If I'm playing Joust though, since she kind of has like, she has a good wave clear, but she has, you know, like she's pretty easy to poke out. So I'll actually grab watchers on her sometimes if I feel like I'm getting poked out really hard, because to clear wave, you usually want to use her 2 and you want to keep her 3, or alternate, like maybe use her 3 and then use her 2 as an escape. But I pretty much always keep her 3 because in case if they collapse on me, I will usually have minions that I can teleport to or an ally I can teleport to. If I don't have minions or an ally to teleport to, then I use my 3 and I use my 2 as an escape. But to see like her wave clear, like she kind of has to get up, and if this is a Joust map, like the enemies are going to be over here and they're going to be trying to poke you, since to clear the minion wave you have to get up and wave too. So it's a lot easier for them to hit you and hit the minions. So like when it comes to a small map like, you know, Joust, you know, almost all 3 opponents are in lane all the time. It's a nice item to have. Like if you have a mage that's rushing stacks, just buy watchers and let her, you know, him or her rush the stacks, and you know, you'll heal off of it and you'll get your gold and stuff. It definitely isn't something you want to always go for. This is definitely more a situational item. Like this is strictly if like you're pushing lane and you keep getting poked out and you're losing XP because you can't get up and wave and stuff. This is when I would suggest buying watchers. So now as her overall build, this is pretty much my build. I don't build these items anymore since her new attack chain. I feel like these 2 items are so much better. So, especially since Heartseeker hurts a lot with her, you know, new attack chain. But the movement speed and the protections from Masamune and the health is really nice. That's pretty much why I buy it, is from the protections of movement and the health. Shifter is the same for protections and some power. Jotuns I buy strictly just because like for cooldown and mana. And then, you know, these are just because her attack chain. Anyways, but this build will one-shot all squishies. So let me get up to, excuse me, let me get up to the appropriate level for this build. Alright. But this build, like I said, will one-shot most squishies. Especially like if you have a Poseidon that's not necessarily building Warlocks, but like he built some health like Jim and Viso, you'll one-shot him with the Heartseeker proc. So like, I'll go over her attack chain, and it's easier to show on the Jotuns than the Raw actually. So what a lot of Dajis make as their first mistake is they, as soon as they get out of Fountain, they pop their 1 and then they walk out. And you know, which is, I used to do the same thing. But you actually don't want to do that, because what ends up happening is, I know I did this, I mean maybe people aren't as like, I guess strict with this as I am, but like, let's say I used all my abilities and it doesn't clear the wave all the way, and this is like early game. Late game it doesn't matter. And I didn't clear the wave all the way, and so like I don't want to use my, you know, basic attacks because I have my 1 on and I don't want to waste it on a minion wave. So like instead, like just don't proc it. Like wait until you actually need it, you know. So anyways, her attack chain is pretty easy. You want to make sure you auto reset with her. Like that's the only way she can one-shot a Poseidon, if you auto reset. If you don't, like he's gonna live. So her auto reset chain is so you want to teleport. All right. Hit the Odin once, use your 1, hit him again, and then use your 2 to either finish him or you back away. And that will one-shot most squishies. And you also do a lot more damage. Like here, let me show you the what I see most Dajis do. So they do this. Let's see. Her teleport. it's like, oh my gosh. Hold on a second. I got confused with the two numbers popping up. Wait, can I see? No. Anyways. So her teleport, I mean, will obviously do the same damage as if you did the other attack chain. So 500, and then it has her bleed. So then if you hit her 1, it does 495, and of course the bleed of 90 and I think 30 something. But then it stays at 334, or 354. Alright, and then if you do the other attack chain and you get the auto reset, you do that, auto 495, 495. So instead of, you know, just continually hitting him for 354, you can get 2 autos for 495, which hurts a lot. And that's why auto resetting is so important, because you can also do it like this, so you can teleport, auto, reset, auto, use the 2, and then auto. And that's 3 auto resets right there. So auto resets on her are obviously very important. I mean, her damage jumped up a lot from just, you know, using a basic attack in between abilities. So anyways, as overall, how you should interact with enemy players, as an early game, you kind of want to be a scavenger in a way. You kind of want to just pluck people off that are trying to run away with low health. Like, for example, someone tried to kill this Thrall, but they had no more abilities up to kill him, and he's going to get away. Just teleport on him, finish him off, do what you gotta do, and get out. So her early game, like, you want to be pretty passive, but like as soon as someone gets low enough, below like half HP in the early game, you want to be aggressive for it. You don't want to be super aggressive though, and like, you know, obviously tower dive, but I would say if there's a low health enemy with maybe 2 other gods, depending on, you know, how strong those gods are, if it's gods with a weak early game, go for it. So when it comes to our late game interaction, I feel like you can be very aggressive with her, especially if you're fed. And that's the beautiful thing about Daji, is like, you don't have to be fed to be relevant in late game. I mean, it will definitely help you a lot if you're fed, but I mean, you can still be a threat in late game. Unlike, you know, some gods, if they don't get fed in the early game, they're complete trash late game. But anyways, you can be like very aggressive late game. You can one-shot almost any god that's not building a ton of health. Tanks, it does take a little longer, obviously, but I mainly focus the hard-hitting mages, or like the annoying Loki that's running around and stuff. So yeah, like, she's really good at focusing carries. So, you know, if they have an ADC or a mage carry on their team that's doing a lot of damage, I would start trying to focus them and, you know, get them when they're out of position and stuff. But she's like fairly easy to play. And also, like, even in late game, like, you still kind of, if, you know, you're doing a risky play, you want to keep either your 2 or your 3 up. And I would recommend keeping your 3 up if you have a minion wave behind you. That's, you know, your minion wave and an ally behind you. So if you know you're losing the fight with the Raw, you could just teleport away to your ally and then get out to, you know, safety. Or if you're alone and you don't have a minion wave, they don't have a minion wave, or you're too low to teleport to a minion wave, and there's none of your allies around, then keep your 2 up. Because your 2 makes you knock up immune and slow immune, so you can just run away. And as you can see, all the immunes were popping up when I was near him in that form. Now let's talk about Daji's ultimate. And after I talk about her ultimate, I'll talk about like little, I guess, pet peeves. So her ultimate's fairly easy. It's like, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Actually, that's the one thing I want to talk about with Daji too. That's something you don't want to do. Let's go refresh her ultimate. So the reason why I say don't do that with Daji is, I mean, if it's one person and it's their ADC carry, go for it if you're confident enough that you can land those chains. Because it doesn't give them enough time to react for beads and stuff, which is great. But when there's a team fight, try to focus as many people as you can. And I see people that will be in a team fight and then they do that auto cancel, you know, on one person. And also, getting all 3 chains on one person hurts a lot too. So like, if you know their beads are down and you're not afraid of them, you know, using beads on your ultimate, go ahead and land all 3 chains on them, because the chains hurt. You don't want to do that instant click and, you know, reset her ultimate or whatever. Like that, I would say that trick is only good if you know they have beads. If you know they have beads, do that so they don't have enough time to react, and only do it if it's, you know, an enemy that's actually a threat to your team, like their carrier or something. Alright, so now her like little pet peeves, I guess. With Daji, you want to be very aware of your surroundings, you know. You want to pluck people off as much as you can, and you want to keep them out of lane as much as you can, because if you can keep an enemy out of lane, they will lose XP. And that's what I usually do with her. That's what I usually do in most of the early games, since she can't actually kill people. I try to poke people out of lane. So like, let's say this Raw, you know, was clearing minions and stuff, and he was like, you know, trying to stack and get up to late game, you know, like Ramas and AMCs do. They, you know, they're usually solo in another lane, and they're, you know, usually stacking, and they're just trying to farm into late game. So those are the guys I normally focus, and I try to poke them out of lane as much as possible, because I mean, they don't hurt early game for one very much, and for two, like, it's really easy to poke them out of lane. So you know, that's when I would go up and do the combo maybe, and then I'll use my 2 to go away. And you know, they'll get poked out of lane eventually, and then I'll have to go back, and you're preventing them from farming, and they're losing XP too. And she's really good for that. So she's really good at, you know, like I said, keeping people out of lane. She is like a scavenger too. She goes pick off people that are low health. And her ultimate's great to initiate team fights. And I actually forgot to mention this about her ultimate. Her ultimate's actually a great escape. So like, if this Raw's chasing me, I'll ult him, and then I'll like run away. And also with this, that did not look like where it was going. Anyways. So like, if you're being chased, and we'll have to do this over here. If you're being chased and you use like all your abilities on accident, like your 2 and your 3, and you have no way to escape and you're really low, go ahead and use your ultimate like here. Because if I pop ult and I grab these guys, I can sit in my ult and wait, and then by the time I get down, I have my 2 up and I can get away. So it's great to like use and wait for your cooldowns too, and also, you know, to grab the people that are chasing you so they can't chase you as much anymore, and helps you get away. And like, you can spam her ultimate. It has a really short cooldown. It's only like a minute long. So like, use that. Use it as an escape, an initiator, whatever you want to use it for. So the other thing with her ultimate is if there's people with leaps, I target the people with leaps with the chains, so they can't leap after me once I, you know, get away. Because those Odins, if I was really low health and they leaped after me because I didn't grab them, they could leap to where I jump and possibly kill me. So that's the other thing with her ultimate. People that have leaps or dashes that, you know, can probably catch up to you when you're after you get off your little pedestal, grab them with the chains and pull them. Make it so they can't, you know, catch up with you. Let's discuss relics real quick. So relics, I pretty much always get Aegis because it's nice to have. These are pretty much the both relics I get on her, just because they're both really nice to have. You know, you have your beads if you get stunned or, you know, rooted, because your 2 doesn't immune you for roots. So if you have an Artemis like chasing you and she manages to put a root under you, like, you're still rooted, you can't get out. I don't even think, maybe you can teleport, I'm not sure. If you guys know the answer to that one, you can go ahead and mention it in the comments, because I'm not sure if you can actually teleport out of a root. I feel like you would be able to. But Beats is just like nice to have on her anyways, because she's also a very squishy character. And then Aegis is nice to have just because, I mean, you have your immunity to all damage for a few seconds. Blink Daji can work. I just personally don't use it because I find it kind of worthless, because she has her 3 and her 3 can't get interrupted by damage. But other relics, I mean, I would say you can almost go anything with relics. I mean, even if you really wanted to, you could grab Hand of the Gods and use it before an ultimate so they can get stunned or whatever. But I would say she's really lenient with relics. The last thing I want to discuss is, man, I just have this on the tip of my tongue. Oh yeah, okay. So the one thing I want to discuss is her 3 is actually, it's kind of a counter for a Loki ultimate and, a lot of other things. So for example, like, if I was low or just a Loki was trying to ult me and I knew he was going to ult me, if I was to teleport as soon as he went to ult me, he wouldn't actually teleport with me. He would just hit his ultimate here, and you know, he'd just be kind of looking around like, oh my god, I missed that, I'm an idiot. But yes, you can you know, make people miss their abilities if they go and teleport. And that's the same thing like for you teleporting on people. If you go to teleport on someone that leaps away or something, you'll just like, you'll make the teleporting animation, but you'll stay in the spot that you're at because they, you know, used a leap or whatever. And then the other thing that also, if you play, for example, Aphrodite or someone that has a knock up, or, you know, something that can like make an enemy go up in the air, like a knock up or Aphrodite's back off, be careful if you have a Daji player because also her 3, if an Aphrodite, you know, you're trying to help you chase someone and they use their back off when you're trying to teleport, it will actually cancel your teleport because they got knocked up into the air. And same thing happens with Sobek Tail Whip. If Sobek uses a Tail Whip when you're trying to teleport, it cancels it and you can't teleport. So you want to be very aware of with a Daji player if you feel like they're going to teleport or not. Because if it's someone that you feel like is very capable for the Daji to teleport on to, then kind of save it just in case. So I'd pretty much use your Tail Whip when they're, or you know, your back off or any ability like that with the Daji player before they're half health. So then, because a Daji player, I mean at least me, I don't teleport on people until they're at least, I would say maybe 3/4 of the way down in health. When they're at least grouped up and stuff, and if it's a team fight. So yeah, that's just like a little fun fact to watch out for, is you can actually cancel your own allied Daji's teleport. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. Leave a like, you know, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. My Instagram is SmiteBames. You know, a lot of you that are following me are from there. Also, go ahead and, you know, leave a comment about what you think. You know, maybe some stuff I forgot you can mention, because I feel like I did forget some things. And I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. See ya, babes.